My name's Kayla. I love snakes, and so I've set out some snake cover boards on the cottage property, and I'll go and check these cover boards from time to time, every few days or once a week, depending on when I'm available. I usually check in the morning or in the evening. Those are the best times of day, and I see what snakes are under there. So I've got a few here. I'll take a look. We'll see if there's any snakes today. When I check the boards, I like to lift the far edge first, just in case there's somebody under there, they have a chance to move away. And I'm always careful watching for things like wasps or anything that might be a hazard. So I gently lift the corner of the board and I can take a look. I don't see any snakes under here today. Sometimes I see northern ring-necked snakes or red-bellied snakes or eastern garter snakes. Those are the ones that seem to prefer these boards the most. And they'll come into the boards for shelter. They'll come under the boards for thermoregulation, so to help adjust their body temperature. And so it's always like a bit of a treasure hunt to see if there will be snakes underneath the boards. I also love salamanders in addition to snakes, and so we also have some boards that these ones have been sitting out here for a while, and so I will check for salamanders under these boards. Sometimes there are snakes under these ones too. So the same idea, lifting the far edge and just taking a peek. So over here we have a blue-spotted salamander. It's a little smaller, so this one's probably young. It's not quite full size. So we'll gently lift this one. Oh, and here we have a blue-spotted salamander, but this one is pretty well full size. So this one's probably older than the other ones we saw because it's definitely bigger. Yay. Oh, here's a newt aft. So this is a young eastern newt. They start out as eggs in the water, they hatch out, and then once they're a bit bigger, they come out onto land. And they're sort of reddish like this one. And once they get even bigger, as adults, they go back into the ponds and they live in the water as adults for the rest of their life. So this is like a teenage newt that we're seeing. Yay! Very cute. If you do open up your board and find something, it's always good to allow the animal a chance to escape or move away before you set the board back down. That way you're not risking hurting the animal setting the board on top of it. So if I check under this, I don't see any salamanders or snakes. There are some crickets. If there were salamanders or snakes, they'll usually try and move to the side, and then once they're out of the way, you can gently put the board back, and then they'll come back under the board later. This here is our barred owl hotel. My family built it last year, and it is a nest box for barred owls. And we hear and see barred owls around here quite a bit. We love having them around. They're such a joy to listen to, and we thought we could try and provide them with some nice housing options with this nesting box.
Hi, I'm Gary Mueller with the South Channel Association on the environmental side. We're here at Squirrels Cove, and today we've been working with creating fish habitat by using brush piles and sinking them out in the deeper water to create habitat for small fish to have protection and a place for spawning as well. So here behind me is Squirrels Creek, and over the couple of years we've been doing temperature probes and fish studies to see what's coming in here. In the early spring we're seeing smelt, and come early May then we're into bass, some rainbows we've seen in here, and some garpike. And we're hoping that over time we can create a better habitat and more population of fish species here in Squirrels Cove.
Yeah, I'm cutting up some brush for the to make these fish habitat nests for minnows. So we're just finding whatever we can find in the bush and cutting up what might create an airspace in a brush pile under the water.
Yeah, so here we're just going to grab the branches. These greener branches will last a little bit longer underwater. So we're going to drag them out to the shore, and then we'll bundle them up and put the cinder block around them and then sink them.
Just bundling the brush piles together that we're going to submerge with some anchor blocks, and the minnows can go in there and get away from cormorants and whoever else is chasing them, mergansers, loons.
Current comes over to here, so that's where it opens up right on the side of the string.
You happy with it?
Yep.
Here she goes.
It's not sinking. I believe it. Needs 4 blocks, you're right, Peter. We need another rope.
So right now we're tying the last weight onto the brush pile to just make sure it stays down on the bottom. And yeah, this is our second brush pile we're putting out to enhance fish habitat here in Squirrels Cove.
There we go. Now hold it up, Catherine. Pull up, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it. That's it. Yeah.
Alrighty?
Yep.
So this is our boat garden. When we bought the cottage, the boat was here and not useful, so we decided to turn it into our vegetable garden. So every year we plant lots of different vegetables, including tomatoes and cucumbers and kale and lettuces and herbs, and then we can use them every day in the summer for dinner and lunches.
I've been on this property for 50 years, almost my entire life, and we've always tried to take an interest in stewardship and keeping things tidy, but over the last number of years we've really noticed that it's all about blue foam. The lake is just pushing out blue foam, and so I try to pick it up as fast as the lake pushes it out. I've actually got some here. I can show you. I keep just these little bottles in the boat, on the beach, wherever I think I might encounter some blue foam bits, and then I just pick them up and put them in the jar, stick the lid on, and carry on. You see what kind of stuff I'm getting: a few bits of glass, fishing lures, other odd bits of rubbish, but the occasional cigarette butts, but the vast majority of it is blue foam, and we get everything in here from large pieces to very small ones, even pieces this big. I'm fishing out of the sand and trying to get those as well. These of course have all broken up, and you know, we're very lucky that the lake is cleaning itself. It's ejecting all this stuff up onto the shoreline, and if we can just pick it up when we get the chance, when it's on the shoreline, and everybody did this, I think we could probably have a significant impact in getting things cleaned up. And from my experience, the good part is it's not every foot of the shoreline. There's key areas in the shoreline, like a beach or crevices in the rock, where the foam really collects. And so on our own property, we mainly focus on our beach, and there's a couple of other points where I go out and pick things up. This shopping bag I saw, picked it up maybe about 10 feet under, sort of partly into the muck. Again, probably blew out of somebody's boat, a little boat, all kinds of stuff. But the things that I really like to pick up are these big pieces of foam, because I look at these and I think, well, I'd rather pick this up than what, 10,000 of those. And so anytime I see these anywhere on the shore zone, anywhere they could get washed back in, I either pick them up immediately or I make a note and I'll go back and get them. Last year, between what we picked up on our own shore and some of the places around the bay, I had over 1,500 pieces of foam, ranging in size from almost still full intact billets to pieces like this. And you get, of course, other interesting things, somebody's shoe, a couple of hats. If anybody recognizes these, just text me, email me, you can have it back. A big O-ring, cans. But what you really notice here already is, from all the things I'm picking up, it's really all about the blue foam. And again, these I have to pick off the bottom with a snorkel. These are just washing up right at my feet, where I can just pick them up so easily. So I guess I have this dream that maybe other people will become interested in this, and if we all start picking this up, it'll really make a difference. I know there's been new laws to try to ban blue foam in the future, but the reality is there's a ton of blue foam docks still out there. There are still people abandoning blue foam docks. Through the South Channel Association, we're trying to identify derelict docks and work with the township of the archipelago to get those disposed of properly. And the township's been great, but we know there's a lot of work to do still. I feel good about doing it. I'm trying to think about how many generations ahead and hope that they're not going to be looking at a beach full of blue foam and thinking about my generation and saying, what was wrong with these guys? Why didn't they pick this stuff up? Why were they even using it in the first place, frankly? But, we used it. Can't go back on that part, but we can do something about it now. We can clean it up. We can stop using it.